The New York Times continues its implosion as senior op-ed editor Bari Weiss has resigned, complaining of the fact in her resignation letter, which has been made public, of the fact that she has been badgered, accosted, criticized continually by members of the woke brigade, which has taken over the New York Times, which managed to get James Bennet, the former editor of the op-ed page, fired or to resign because he had published an editorial by sitting Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas regarding U.S. military securing United States cities from the atrocious rioting and looting and destruction that continues to take place today. This is what got him fired, by publishing a heterodox opinion away from the orthodoxy of the left. Similarly, this wokeness, this disease, this pathogen of the mind continues to take over the Times, and now one of the leading contributors, Bari Weiss, resigns. Bari Weiss is by no means a conservative. She is center-left. She's liberal with her ideas. In her resignation, she quotes Adolf Ochs, O-C-H-S, who in 1896 made the statement, to make one of the columns of the New York Times a forum for the consideration of all questions of public importance, and to that end invite intelligent discussions from all shades of public opinion. Do you think that this is what's going on in the New York Times at the moment? Not even close. Again, if you brush up against the homogenous idea of leftism, then you are going to be canceled. You are going to be criticized. And this is what's taking place in our nation. This cancer is so rapidly spreading. I urge everybody to cancel their subscription to the Times. This is no longer the paper of record. This is a dirt rag magazine promoting leftism. Everything that they do is to basically, in my opinion, destroy our country. Everything that comes out of the Times since Tom Cotton's piece has been absolutely atrocious. I will no longer lend my support to them. Today I see the New York Times has a column out and I skip it. Whereas before it was required reading for me. I have to have a very good reason to read the New York Times today. But this is more broadly speaking of what's going on in America. Even during the 1960s, when the hippies were demanding an end to the Vietnam War, when the civil rights movement was ongoing and there was great consternation and infighting in the United States, it doesn't even approach what is going on today. As demonstrated by the New York Times, this is a horizontal takeover of our nation's structures, of the levers of power. And the media right now is a tremendous lever of power because people still believe what the WashPo and New York Times publish, despite the fact that so much of it is completely biased and political. Just the other day, I scrolled through an article from the Times about the Camden, New Jersey police and what a boon it has been for the city of Camden after they got rid of the police department. They completely did not acknowledge the fact that the policing came from neighboring counties, that because the police department was deemed to be so corrupt that it was disbanded and policing was brought in from elsewhere. So it's not like there wasn't policing. And also the fact that Camden is in the bottom 5 percentile in terms of crimes in our nation today. Yet this is the way that they're framing it because they want to convince people that we need to disband the police, defund the police. It's absolutely Looney Tunes what's going on in the Times, and it's just an example of what's happening to our nation. And this is why we have to speak out. We have to make our voices heard and stand up against the leftism because it will come for every single person. It is now on the doorstep of leftists, not leftist, liberals, like Bari Weiss. You take a look at all those people that signed the Harper's letter declaring that cancel culture is too much, that it's gone too far. Well, guess what? Every single person who is center-right has warned you about this. And I will continue to speak up against this infectious disease of the mind. And you can go on Facebook and see so many people in support of it because the moment you declare a tacit support of it, somehow you have to be able to justify that in your mind. It's an old tactic in Vietnam that the army used to do to prisoners of war. And they used to get them to state one thing bad about America and just write it out. And they wouldn't give them much in return so that they couldn't excuse it in their mind for the fact that they were being given something, that they were being bribed to state this. And then gradually they managed to convert them into full anti-American, propaganda pieces, which they used journalistically. But nevertheless, my point being is that this is what the left is doing. They are infecting people's mind, and it starts out slow and then it speeds up. So if you guys are in favor of the New York Times and doing this, then by all means, then you're firmly on the left. But when Bari Weiss resigns, when the sitting editor, James Bennet, I believe, of the op-ed section is forced to resign, we have serious problems, and the levers of power are being taken over by leftism, and we have to fight back and stand up for ourselves. That's all. If you guys like this material, share it, and peace and blessings to everybody out there. Much love, and Barry, you have my support. Peace.